right, this is another approach for the tide exhibit. And here, instead of using a sliding mass, we're using a fixed Petri dish that's got some red liquid in it. And we're using a couple of pieces of caulk here to confine the flow of liquid to be either inboard for under the influence of gravity or outboard under the influence of centrifugal force. And then the dish is mounted onto a steel plate there that we can bend and change the angle on to fine tune the influence of gravity and centrifugal force. And what we want to do is have when there's no centrifugal force, when there's no rotation, we want the fluid level to be just inboard of where the edge of the earth would be. So we're only seeing one tidal bulge due to gravity. But what I found is that it's actually got to be, the angle of the plate's got to be a little bit more than just enough to have this demarcation line here on the edge of the earth, because when you stop rotation, if the angle's not steep enough, it takes a really long time for the red water to sort of settle down behind the earth, so you're only getting one tide bulge again. And I'll show you that, if we put this cover on like that. All right, you can see that now we've got one tide bulge here and nothing out here. So now I'll put this phone on the gooseneck like we did last time. And we can start rotating it. And as we start rotating it, if I rotate it fast enough, the fluid will move outboard, and we have basically two tidal bulges. Now, you can't really discern the height of the tide on the inboard end versus the outboard end, but you can see that there are two tide bulges. One of the things I think that's somewhat important is that we set this up so that you don't have to rotate it too fast to get the centrifugal force that we're looking at, to get the second tide bulge, because you got to keep in mind that for every one rotation of the system, the Earth is rotating 28 times faster. And if that's rotating too quickly, people won't be able to see, as San Francisco passes, the tide bulges. And if we do put a sun in the exhibit, they won't be able to see the orientation of San Francisco relative to high tide or relative to the sun. So I think it's important that the whole system works, the exhibit works with an acceptably low rate of rotation. And the impact of that is that now if we reduce the barycenter, if we move the North Pole closer to the center of rotation, which we can do just by sliding here. Now here's the center of rotation right there. Obviously it's going to take a higher rotation rate to get the fluid to move out. We can try that now. And you can see we're kind of just getting a little bit of the fluid moving out, but not very much. I think to get this to work, we'd still need probably a center of rotation or the radius arm here to be, beyond the normal barycenter that we have in nature. But I think that's what it is.